All right. All right. Okay. There we go. And of course, I have sunlight coming through my blinds right into my eye. Oh, maybe that's a little better. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to duck from this blade here of light. But anyway, I got things to do, so I need to go ahead and record this and get it out there for my own posterity's sake. But I wanted to put this on my stream, a DM University announcement. I'm pretty aware that only my players and friends, love you guys, as probably will ever look at this, but who knows what will happen in the future. I'm trying to go ahead and change that by going to DM University, which is what this video here is going to be about. So I do have some notes here, but I didn't like memorize any of this or anything like that. So I'm going to be kind of talking off the cuff here. But yeah, so I'll be attending something called Dungeon Master University over the next few days here. Today, tomorrow, and the day after, ending on Saturday. And here is the website for the event here. Already looked it up. DM University. Here we go. So this is what I will be doing. Super excited about it here. So, we're going to explore this website here in a few minutes, and it's going to kind of jog my memory about this event, what's going on with it, what I will be doing or attending at this event. And, I look to essentially create kind of a little vlog experience. The first day begins today at 3 p.m. Eastern Time is registration down at the hotel in which they're hosting part of this event. So I only got a limited amount of time here, but I'll be heading down there later today and registering, and I'll be going to a reception this evening. So, but like I'm saying, I just want to go ahead and make a video about this experience. And, I plan on, if I can, at the event with my gimbal here, doing some recording. But I don't know. Things may be a bit too busy to really go ahead and do that. And I may just vlog my experience after each day. But either way, it'll be up here eventually, this DM University experience, for anybody who would like to go ahead and see what it was about. It'll This thing is popping off. There's so much excitement going on around it right now in our private channels and stuff. So I imagine that we'll go ahead and maybe do another one, maybe in 2027. So, maybe this will help some of you gamers and hobbyists in the future who's interested in something like this to, evaluate it and see if you want to attend something like it in the future. But I'm giving, pretty much my opinion. And, this is not going to be, some type of critical hit piece or anything like that. I respect the event organizers for coming up with something like this, and I think they all want to do a good job and is trying to, expand the community. So, any criticism, everything's going to be done with respect. Lots of love. But I don't think I'm going to have any issues here with this event, anything weird or whatnot going on. There's a lot of awesome things lined up. So, yeah. So that's a little bit kind of a down and dirty of what this event is, what this video is about. Luckily for me, this video is going to be in Atlanta, Georgia, my home city. So, I got lucky where I didn't have to fly somewhere to go ahead and do this video. And hold on a second. I got to get this light out of my face. Jesus. This is ridiculous. All right. How can I fix this? Okay. Okay. That's a lot better. So, maybe I'll cut that out. Maybe I won't. Who knows? But regardless here, yeah. So, where was I? This is happening in Atlanta, and it's going to be at Oglethorpe University. It's about 20 minutes or so from me, and the university is it's a beautiful campus. If you ever go through Atlanta, Georgia, in the U.S., definitely a place if you want to take some nice pictures. It looks like kind of like Hogwarts, so it's very much an appropriate venue for this type of hobby and energy. We're talking about Dungeons and Dragons, right? So let's see. What else? Just a little background on me. I don't think it's too relevant here right now. Nothing, too in depth. But I've been playing and running, D&D and other RPGs for well over a decade. I would say almost 2 decades now. Thinking about it. I started kind of in third editions of Dungeons and Dragons, and bounced between a whole bunch of other different types of RPGs, D8 games, Vampire the Masquerade, other, off the wall D6 games, other, D20 third party games, all types of games and stuff I've, ran and played and over the years. And, there's been times in my life where I didn't do any D&D. But I've always returned back to the community, and I love creative cinematic storytelling. And I like the crunchiness of taking mechanics and applying it to storytelling. And I love improv. Um, and Dungeons and Dragons, RPGs, all of this has scratched a lot of my you know, uh, creative itches, at least who I am as a person. And also, these RPGs and whatnot have been kind of safe havens for me during hard times. I mean, we all go through shit, and during difficult periods, it's been great to have a community to go to and a place to mentally escape for a bit, and just recuperate and get some good energy with others. So there's a bunch of studies online about these tabletop RPGs and how therapeutic they are and help people. Anybody interested in that, I mean, look it up in Google. It's been really good for my mental health. I've met some amazing people through the D&D community, other talented storytellers, artists, all types of amazing people. So I really love the space, and you know, I take advantage of every opportunity I can to kind of be in a space these days. But other things I've done is like some journalism. Back when it was not as a meme-ish as it is now, I used to do some disc jockeying. I've worked in IT, but writing has always been like a big part of my life. Um, my degree is in English. So, I've read more books than I can remember, wrote more things than I can count. And I created this channel here, D&D Basement Party, to kind of showcase, my storytelling work, and maybe provide some entertainment to other people out there, and also to have something to reflect back on with my friends and players and stuff in the future. Anybody who's played back in games can always kind of, hop back in time now, as long as YouTube is up, and, I don't know, these videos don't get taken down or something, and they can go back to, a pleasant point in time where they played in these games and get some really good memories. So, over the years, I've been told that I have some talents that really makes my game stand out. So I'm also looking to take those talents in a creative hobby and monetize it. Get the bag. Um, Nothing wrong with that, I say, especially in the type of world that we live in today. So what's I think it's everybody aspires to have. I think do something they love and also monetize it in some fashion or another. So that's what I'm trying to go ahead and do here with this channel too. But at the end of the day, I would still probably do this. I've been doing it with no money. I've invested more money in this than I've done in a lot of other hobbies, maybe. Um, but I would do this just for the love of the art of storytelling, regardless. And also, I do have a son who's I would love for him to sometime in the future be able to go on YouTube and see this version of his dad and stuff out here. A little memento for, my times. So that's kind of what D&D Basement Party kind of is a place to showcase work, to entertain. I would hope to turn things into a podcast. I'm going to DM University and taking the career building track in order to be able to get some skills and information and tools to take the amazing content we have here and, put it in some type of format that is easier to digest. Because as any gamer or D&D person knows, these games run 4 or 5 hours. I'm well aware of it. And there's a lot of crunchy dice and all types of, dead space in the middle that is interesting to the players at the table because they're invested, but may not be interested to like a larger audience. And so, how can we take this content? How can we, take out some of the less important parts or the less entertaining parts and highlight where the meat is, the good stuff. So, yeah, I hope to go ahead and do that too. Yeah, so with that being said, look, we got to go ahead and get the show on the road. So I wanted to go ahead and talk about DM University and my experience thus far. Today is the first day. It starts at 3 p.m. I'm going to hop in a car, drive down there, and get my information. I'll share that with you, the welcome package and stuff that they give you. We're going to go through the website, and there is other information I've gotten, but I believe it's like more proprietary information, so I'm hesitant to go ahead and share internal materials until the entire event is over. So I'm going to be talking from a pretty, broad perspective. But let's go ahead and look at it here. So Dungeon Master University, I saw the advertisement for this for a long time ago, and, I was interested in it, and I showed it to people, but then you scroll down to the bottom here and look at this price tag, baby. Whew. Look, I'm an average guy. I don't know, maybe y'all got a lot of money and stuff out there and all that good stuff, no problem at all. But, for an extracurricular activity outside of adulting and stuff, I mean, this is some pretty expensive stuff, $1,500, $2,250 for this event here. And so me saying that, maybe you're wondering, like, well, if it costs so much money, why are you going? Well, I have a sponsor, one of my amazing friends, who will probably watch this video later. Thank you forever. Saw really my kind of love, I guess, and dedication to the game and stuff here, and had the resources at the time to go ahead and try to allow me to actually go ahead and pay for this event. And, and so what an opportunity, right? So that's what I'm seizing here too, is, I'm able to go without investing a lot of my own money here. And I have somebody who really believes in my artwork and whatnot and wants me to push it forward. So I am going on this gold tier event here too. So, just look at this money. All right. So, from the information I've gathered, and I think this is pretty public here at the moment, silver tier, you get in here on, a course track, and you can choose the type of course, or at least track you want, and the course associated with it. And then you have access to games, D&D games that one-shots, they're going to be running later in the evening on the next 2 days. So gold tier here, you get, of course, same thing, a course that is specific to like these tracks that they have down here, which I'll kind of show you in a second. and then you get premium access to Game Lab. So there's been kind of a ranked choice sign up for these different tables of D&D games. Excuse me. And there's only so many seats. So essentially, if you have a gold tier, you have priority in getting a chair at any one of these tables. So and then silver tier, you kind of you come in last, you get pretty much what's left. And platinum tier, you have an opportunity to run a game and have one of the instructors, the who's who of the D&D world here, kind of shadow play in the game, watch your session and give advice and stuff like that. So you're actually running games here at the platinum tier, and probably also get probably the highest priority in sitting at a table if you want. Now this is all stuff I learned so far. Don't specifically quote me on it, but go to the website yourself, look at the details. At a gold tier, you also get pretty much a one-on-one with some of the who's who in the D&D world. So that's anxiety-inducing, but it's super awesome that these people are coming to this event, and people you've seen on stream, authors, and many of the D&D books, all this type of stuff. They're going to be here. You get access to sitting down with them and talking, asking them questions, getting advice, or I don't know, getting something signed, or whatever it may be. So I been lucky enough to be able to get a couple appointments with two people, and so oh man, I don't even know what I'm going to ask, to be honest. Like, I could talk about what I want to do with my channel and stuff like that, but the courses is going to be kind of handling that. So I don't know, I'm kind of intimidated on what I would ask in these office hours. But then today they have a reception for those who pay the gold tier and the platinum tier. That's after the registration. Yeah. And of course, you get a welcome package and all that type of stuff. So I'll be showing you when I pick that up. There's 4 tracks they got here. Skill building. This is your fundamentals of how to run a game appropriately and things of that nature. Campaign building, building your world. I love world building. I'm sorry, campaign building. Actually, oops, I'm messing up here. Damn. What is this shit? Framework for running a campaign, not necessarily just building your world, but actually running a full campaign. Tips for that campaign building, super important stuff. World buildings, which what I was talking about, this is another track here. I love world building, but I will be doing the career building track here, the 4th of this track, and it has a description of it. So Clinton McCoy. These are who's who in the D&D world. I'm sorry, Clint McElroy, excuse me, McCoy. I put down these in my research. I put down these guys' profiles, but we can click on this here. What am I doing? So, very influential people here in the adventure RPG space. He created Adventure Zone. I don't know if you've seen these graphic novels. I've seen them. My son has seen them. Runs games for D&D in a Castle and all types of stuff here. So Clint, but I'm not super familiar with that person's background here. Elza, I believe, or Eliza, Eliza Teague. Well-known producer here of a whole bunch of D&D content, as we can go ahead and see. Yep. Board games, over 100 published cards of board games written for various RPGs, Dungeons & Dragons, Marvel Multiverse, Gloomhaven. Yep, Crooked Moon. I was actually thinking about running that next, so that's interesting. And a bunch of other stuff here. So, yep. And there is some other instructors, quote unquote, professors too, that they have, and there's a whole bunch. Cage Fruitiman. Dave Walters, Mike Tenney, Steve Wrigley, Monty Cook, all these people, the who's and who. Everybody's here in Atlanta, right? Everybody's here. So I'll be doing the career building in order for doing the things I talked about a bit earlier here. And so that's where I'm at. So once you've pretty much signed up, there is a pretty good. So far, the people D&D in the castle, they're the ones. I guess the underlying event organizing company, is the people who also do D&D in the castle, which is separate from this. DM University, it's all part of the same thing, I think, or the same company or event organizers. But DM University is this convention, pretty much, I'm talking about here. But they also do D&D in the castles. I guess what I'm trying to express at the moment. But anyway, back to DMD University here. So yeah, so getting back on track. My experience thus far, where after you sign up and the money's paid, communication started off kind of slow. But as we got closer to the event, we got pretty much all the emails and stuff we needed. We were directed to pretty much a Discord server, which has all the people who are coming to this event inside of it. So I've been on the Discord server, just reading a lot of people's stories. There's introductions and stuff where people are talking about their experiences in gaming, why they're coming here. I'm seeing there's people coming from all across the United States flying in, Maine, Central United States, West Coast. So a lot of people who have a lot of passion for the game is coming out. It's going to be a lot of good energy. There's announcements going on in the Discord and all types of stuff, sharing information for what we're going to be doing in the event. So since they've opened up the Discord channel, which is a fantastic idea for this, communication's been amazing. The moderators and the staff and stuff in here have been super nice and helpful in answering like the most basic questions and stuff like that. People have been a super help and pointing out like things you can do in Atlanta while you're here, and the best ways to get around. So people who are coming into the event are staying at a hotel. And, there's discounted rates, obviously, if you're staying at the hotel. And the hotel's about 20 minutes or so from the actual university. They give you MARTA passes, so you can be able to bounce between the hotel and the university, at least without driving or Ubering if you flew in and stuff like that. I'll be driving there and parking because I live pretty close. So, there's been a lot of talk on there about the hotel situation and whatnot. But it seems like everything's been communicated pretty clearly to me, and a lot of good information on here. So I really like the communication thus far, and I really appreciate the staff and everybody helping out with each other on this. But let's look at some other things here. So what if I just select? Can add guests and stuff like that. Okay. Let's do, can we click up here? No? Okay. I guess that's about it here for the website. Yeah. Oh, okay. So there's meals. So it looks like, as far as the meals and stuff is concerned, is that there's probably going to be some food at the reception. And that's the thing, too. If you did the gold tier, platinum tier, I think I mentioned this before, you're invited to a reception after registration, which is in the evening time. So I'll be there doing that. But there's probably food included. But in the next 2 days, there is lunch provided at the university, probably some type of catering. And then there's a dinner, and during the dinner is when they're going to have the keynote speakers, which we see here. Chris Perkins will be there, tomorrow and the day after, and he'll be also the keynote speaker. He'll actually be shadowing some games and doing some office hours. So, I'm sorry, he'll be doing seminars. They've been pretty hush-hush on exactly what these seminars are about, so, it's pretty interesting. I'm curious of what we're going to be discussing and going over. So yeah, on one of the nights for dinner, there's going to be the keynote speaker, Chris Perkins, and then on the other night, there's going to be a comedy show and dinner. So that's pretty cool. And then, lastly, at the evening, back at the hotel is where there's going to be the game lab experience. I've already signed up for a couple games. And I have my games that I'm doing. I'm excited. It looks like I'm going to be doing a train heist called 90 Miles to Terminus. by DM Chris Sloan. I'll be sitting at their table, and yeah, it seems like a timed train heist thing. So I have a feeling it's going to be pretty cool. What I liked about these courses is that in their descriptions they put a rating, rated R, PG-13, so you get a feel of like what's going to be the tone at the table, right? There's some games that are super PG and friendly and more fun, and there's some other games that look like they're more combat or more serious toned, and this one looks to be maybe a more serious toned one, which I like. Um, that was one that I wanted. Um, the other one that I'm in is the Brothright of Nettie Brobdingnagian. I don't even know if I could say that, but this one is it is looks to be anthropomorphic. It looks like little animals and critters and whatnot is the theme. Is like um, mice, and we're going to be different types of creatures and whatnot in the forest. For some reason, I can't think exactly what to call that type of um, play style. Or hold on, can I look it up? Am I wrong about this? Here we go. Um, Let me see. This one? Yeah, here it is. Okay. So, yeah, anthropomorphic homebrew. Inspired by like the Secret of Nim. That's a part of the description we got here. I don't want to say too much. We're going to be different types of critters in this D&D game, and that sounds like it's going to be fun and interesting. It looks like it's going to be kind of a fetch quest thing. Get set items in order to save the day, but I could be wrong. So I'm really excited to see what that's about. This one is also rated R. The other game, the 90 Minutes to Terminus one that I'm doing that's a level 6. And this one is level 6. So we'll be doing level 6 characters. It looks like most of the DMs are going with like pre-generated characters, which, makes sense. You want to understand what's going to happen, and the module you're running, you want to be able to complete it in one night, right? So I've already selected my characters, actually. I'm going to be an artificier, a goblin artificier in 90 Miles to Terminus. And the Brothright of Nettie Brobdingnagian, I will be a cat, a sorceress cat named Chakala. And so that's going to be a tabaxi sorcerer. So that's going to be interesting. So I'm excited to see what these creators have come up with, and I look to take away some inspiration and stuff too. So I'll be doing a review on some of these games too, and I hope that the people I meet, comes back and look at this too. So, but those are the two games that I will be playing. And this stuff runs deep into the evening on Friday and Saturday, and yeah, uh, there's a variety of seminars. Some of them have topics, like I said earlier. Others don't. Then there's these main course tracks that you are taking. Each one is 2 hours, and you're doing 2 of them a day. So it's 4 hours each day, 8 hours of pretty much courses. And the courses I will be in is going to be all related to pretty much career building stuff. And yeah, with 2 different, instructors. So yeah, and that's the event. And I imagine on the 3rd, people will be flying out, and we'll be hugging and trying to meet each other on the internets and stuff. So that's the event. I look to build a lot of connections. I look to go ahead and meet a lot of good people, get a lot of inspiration, and find some new friends and new creators I can talk with, if anything. I've already met a lot of people just local to the Atlanta, Georgia area that I didn't even know were out there doing their own thing. So this has been beautiful for that, for like highlighting a lot of connections. And who knows where things will go. I will hope that if you went to the event, Drop a comment, like, subscribe, especially if you talked with me at the event. And let's collaborate, or let's just support each other in this hobby that we love. But that's what I wanted to put out there. I got about 2 hours or so before I got to get out of here. So I'm going to go ahead and drink my coffee and do a bit of tidying, packing up, figuring out how this gimbal works. And we're going to be doing the thing. And I'll be reporting back with you guys here later. All right. Deuces. Toodles.